The contribution of the British cavalry during the Great War has often been overlooked or unfairly derided by historians. However, throughout this conflict they showed their superiority over their continental contemporaries and remained a force to be reckoned with despite developments in modern weaponry such as machine guns. In fact, they were told in their training manuals to break off a troop or squadron to gallop directly at machine guns that opened up on the flanks of charges. The British cavalry fought and contributed during every year of the conflict. The British cavalry were quick to assert their dominance over the Germans in August 1914 during the British Expeditionary Forces, or BEF's, very first engagement of the war. The small Belgian village of Casteau was immortalised by this relatively minor but undoubtedly significant engagement. The date was the 22nd of August 1914. This sword was used by Captain Charles Beck Hornby in this very engagement and has the macabre accolade of being the first British weapon to kill a German soldier in the Great War. This sword is a patterned 1908 cavalry trooper's sword and is designed as a thrusting weapon to be used almost as if it were a one-handed lance. It is a perfect weapon for a cavalry charge. These cold steel weapons are often referred to as armed lance in contemporary sources. The day before this engagement, worrying reports of some 2,500 hostile German cavalry massed to the north at Soignies reached the regiment, and further reports from fleeing Belgian civilians suggested the presence of approximately 400,000 German troops flooding south on every road from Brussels. As a result of these worrying reports, C Squadron of the 4th Dragoons under Major Tom Bridges were sent out on a reconnaissance mission in an attempt to locate the enemy. However, by dawn the next day this patrol appeared to be unsuccessful. Resultantly, C Squadron halted and took up concealed positions on the outskirts of Casteau, with 2 troops mounted and 2 dismounted. It is important to note that in this case, a troop consists of 3 to 4 sections of 4 to 8 men, and not individual soldiers. At approximately 6:30 in the early hours of 22nd of August, a group of 6 Uhlans, the German equivalent of British Lancers, were seen moving cautiously down a road directly towards C Squadron. However, approximately 500 yards away the Uhlans appeared to debate amongst themselves before turning back the way they came. The time had come. Turning to the mounted Captain Hornby, Major Bridges exclaimed, "Now's your chance, Charles, after him with the sword." The pursuit was on. Hornby and the 2 mounted troops galloped the fleeing Germans. At the tram lines in the main street of Casteau it soon became apparent that Hornby's small force was faced by at least half a squadron of German cavalry and was outnumbered. Undaunted, Hornby and his men ploughed directly into the leading sections of the enemy, with the captain driving this very sword into the chest of a German cavalryman. The Germans were at a distinct disadvantage in this melee due to their cumbersome lances. The Germans withdrew slightly and dismounted in order to engage the British with their rifles. Following a small firefight, the arrival of British reinforcements startled the Germans into a full-scale withdrawal. Hornby gave chase with his number now increased to 60 and caught the rearmost Germans after approximately a mile-long gallop. In the resultant melee, several Germans were killed by the cold steel of the British cavalry, and 5 more were taken prisoner following their surrender. The cavalrymen of both sides once more engaged each other with their rifles. However, upon learning from their prisoners that they were faced by an entire cavalry regiment and in danger of being outflanked, the British cavalry withdrew once more unmolested to Casteau without a single casualty throughout the entire engagement. For his part in this engagement, Captain Hornby was presented with the Distinguished Service Order. He survived the war and fought during the Second World War. Charles Beck Hornby died at the age of 65 in 1949.